From my reading, I see that many writers are inspired to their voice by a sense of exclusion. They are outsiders or outcasts, sometimes unwilling, other times entirely voluntary. They belong to some minority, and they feel they have been wronged, oppressed, or perhaps even worse, silenced, suppressed, and not represented. They want to right that wrong and make a record for their people. They have a cause. Their work is its effect. Or they may be incasts, people freshly injected into a society in the midst of which they feel like total strangers. In language, dress, and culture, they are completely at odds with all that is about them. They are often known as fish out of water, and so they speak up as if to announce their very presence and existence. George Orwell, for example, was an anti-imperialist in the service of the Raj. He wore the accoutrements of the rulers, and he did their duty, but his heart was wholly with the disenfranchised. When he wrote, it was for them he spoke, addressing their superiors, advising them that they had no right or reason to feel superior. In questioning the very notion of superiority, he was addressing everyone. All of these voices are fueled by a passion, an urgency, an indignation, even a fury. There is a wrath against injustice and a celebration of heroic endurance, a christening of right in the face of so much wrong. I have no part in this. I have never been set aside. It is the opposite for me. I have always been incorporated. I'm not the fish out of water. I'm the guy inside the fish. I am Jonah inside the whale. To many, I am no different from the whale. And even though I am not the whale, I have no quarrel with the whale. Oh, I may have some differences, but I am certainly not Ahab. I'm not even Ishmael. I have lived my entire life inside the whale. I was born there. I owe my life to him or her, and she has completely shaped my perception of the world, of what is right and wrong and true and good and bad. There's no pretending that that is not so. Plato had his metaphor of the cave, how those inside mistook the shadows on the wall for the real nature of things. They could not do otherwise. It was the only information they had to go on. We make the best of what we've got, even if what we make is wrong. The whale is my cave. Because I live in the whale and have lived there my entire life, I see only shapes of things as they really are. I can only guess at what they might be, or accept the shapes. Life moves along swiftly. I have to make decisions, get on with things. It's far easier to accept the shapes than to quarrel with every one. Also, I know that everyone is only seeing shapes, maybe different, maybe the same, but no more real, no better. And yet I know that I am not the whale. Whale conditioned, certainly, and whale conveyed, but not exactly the whale. Every once in a while I am somewhat distantly moved to declare myself as an independent denizen of the deep. Independent? Not so. I am wholly dependent on the whale. Wholly? Then I am the whale, after all. In effect, I may as well accept it. I am the whale. But I'm not moved to speak as or for the whale. There are some who bite the hand that feeds them. Oh, not bite exactly. It's more like a playful nip, where the author will savage the beast, and then admit that he is drugged and mad and deranged, blaming that condition also on the whale. Or a patrician frat boy in full knowledge of the creature's excesses and abuses, but who marvels at them as frosting on the rich, high-tiered cake of the zeitgeist, and cherishes them almost lovingly for the opportunities they afford him to strop the keen edge of his wit. And what of me, child of the whale? I am mostly silent. What is there to say? Trenchant criticism? Scathing satire? What really does Jonah know? Not much. I was born here, so I don't even remember being swallowed. There's no trauma associated with my life whatsoever. It is very, very comfortable inside the behemoth. Relatively safe. It's possible that I could say, hey, I'm just along for the ride, but that would not be completely true. I am the ride, whether I like it or not. And I like it, and I don't. I am aware of other whales, other fish in the sea, competitors, therefore, ultimately, adversaries. So I know a little if anything, and what I know or think I know is just gleanings from inside the whale. I can't speak for the whale, certainly, and I can't really speak for myself either, because as long as I am inside the whale, then I am the whale. And the whale, by the way, is just the whale. The whale is not bad, the whale is not good. Oh, the whale is bad and the whale is good on occasion, but the whale is not bad and the whale is not good. You can't take parts for the whole. That's misrepresentation. It's fun and it's easy to do and it's convincing, but it's false. So the whale is the whale. And who wants to hear that? Listen, my people, the whale is the whale. What would I say? What would I want to be heard? I certainly don't have any new information. My God, everyone is loaded down with information as it is. I can't possibly tell anyone something that they don't know. That's also laughable. And why go on repeating the same old stuff? Boy, as they say, that gets old. Sure it does. It is old. I really don't know why they call most of the stuff that comes out the news. It's not the news, it's the olds. Here we go again. A lot of hucksterism goes on, but we all know that too. And in a general way, no one is particularly interested in what it's like inside the whale. Everybody already knows. It's big, it needs to feed, and it's all pretty much the same for everybody in there. It's not a mysterious place. There are secrets, but heck, if the secrets come out, they're not really all that surprising. They're old secrets. They're a little disappointing. They're small. That's another thing. Everything gets dwarfed inside the whale. Television and the internet, they're the nervous system of the whale. They give the impression that there is a form of life with a little size and weight and direction to it. Because the most of us in there, we're like plankton, numerous and tiny. We don't amount to much. So it's a little weird, or funny, I might say. I envy those writers who are motivated by injustice, suffering, and whatever calamities have befallen them and their ancestors. Their adversity was a tremendous advantage. They had something to say, and a burning determination to say it, and people who were eager to hear it, to whom the words came almost like a form of nourishment, manna. I have nothing to say, nothing that comes to mind that would justify any expression. No one would be interested in what I had to say, if I did have something to say. By interested, I mean riding on that wavelength like it's the bonsai pipeline, hitting that vein with a needle loaded up with the greatest dope in the world. I belong. I don't have a cause. My ancestors were plankton. My children are plankton. I am not the whale. I am the whale.